Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the deciding Game 3 of mousesports versus DK. This is for Beyond the Summit's World Tour. If mousesports lose this game, there is no chance for them to advance to that primary playoff knockout bracket. But if they win, they have a shot. Looks like Bulba will be standing in for Come With Me this game, as it is quite late over there in Europe. It's been a really long, grueling series. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. Joining me, of course, is godz. The man created a bit of static there in the background. Well, godz, how you holding up after that game number 2?
Not bad. I have to say that was some fantastic games. Hopefully my microphone sounds a bit better now. I have done some adjustments, and game number 2 was absolutely amazing. This tournament as a whole has just produced some of the most exhilarating games for me as a caster, and just as someone who loves watching and analyzing the game. So we're going to see what game number 3 brings, as we do have a familiar sight. mousesports, respect banning Burning's anti-mage 3 games in a row. And we'll see what these two teams can concoct in game number 3. It is Bulba, the stand-in, playing for mousesports. And we'll see if that does give him an edge, missing out on Come With Me. And Come With Me, I have to say, for me, he's been the MVP. He's been the one playing so damn well over the past week or so for mousesports.
Yeah, he's really stepped his game up, and it's regardless of what hero he's played. He's making big plays left and right. For DK, I mean, where do they go from here? Do they go for that sort of aggressive push? They're not going to get the profit, and I feel like that profit just made it makes it so easy to get your push going. All the lanes pushed out, joins every fight. I mean, it wasn't the one hero that sort of broke the game open, but it's just such a nice cornerstone to have if you want to build for that early to mid game timing push. The game went late, but DK secured that lead very early. Templar Assassin Mouse has gone for it 2 games in a row. This time it's Bamboe doing the picking, and I'm not sure how he feels about the TA after that game number 2. After game 1, he probably felt pretty damn good, but we saw some of the downsides to TA. She's not very strong against a hero like Venomancer. So mousesports get a hero that's been banned a lot. It's the Shadow Demon, and so many options for this. Probably the most notable, we've mentioned it before, is that Shadow Demon Kunkka combination. It's something mousesports love to run, and something they've had a lot of success with in the past.
Yeah, we'll see where they want to go from here. I mean, it does sort of lead into Sing Sing's Kunkka. I mean, that was the one game where they did upset IG in their first match, the Shadow Demon Kunkka duo at mid. And something, I mean, when it's mousesports, you're always going to consider a possibility. And I think something these Chinese teams definitely are not expecting to come out to. Well, DK, we'll see what they want to go for. I'm expecting something like a Rubik pick. They've had, well, game 1 it was mouse picking Rubik and having Sing Sing play the support. Game number 2 was DK using it to great effect. So I think Rubik has been a hero that does work well with DK, maybe even the Venomancer as well. It works as a support. We saw last game, solo mid Venomancer countering the Templar Assassin, so it is a versatile hero. It can fit into that solo role as well, and it just really fits DK's playstyle. But there we go, Chaos Knight and Leshrac. Chaos Knight, the first time, I feel like this is the first time this entire tournament hasn't been banned. It's probably one of the most banned heroes this tournament. It's all of a sudden just teams are like, we don't want to verse it. So it does slip through, and DK, don't waste any time picking that one up.
He doesn't get his main running mate, the Shadow Demon. Instead, it's Chaos Knight, but just as good of a combination. No Soul Catcher, but you get Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift. It's real hard to mess up that splitter with those two to set it up, and provides you that great chase. This is a hero that Burning can certainly look to play it if they want to put him in that sort of hard carry farming style CK. You don't have to, though. It can go into more of a ganker style. It's a hero that doesn't need items, but it benefits from them. I mean, if there's a jack of all trades in Dota, I think it is Chaos Knight. We'll have to see where DK go from here, but off the bat, some great hero killing potential. And it's a Tinker for Mouse. I wonder who'll be playing that. Bulba, very well known for his Tinker in the Western scene. Brood as well. Mouse want to spread the map. They want to get some push going their way. Maybe avoid those direct confrontations. Not many real team fight abilities here, but a lot of push power and an ability to really pull DK apart at the seams if they get a good start.
Yeah, we'll see where they want to go with this Broodmother hero that has been often banned by DK and as a side lane. So often, I mean, Mouse will even play in the safe lane. Both Bamboo and Sing Sing are capable of playing that hero, and I have to agree, Tinker almost definitely going to be in the hands of Bulba, who is probably the hero he's most well known for. That and some to a lesser extent his Storm Spirit. But DK immediately pick up a hero that can at least deal with the Broodmother, not necessarily counter it, but can go head-to-head one in a lane or even in a dual lane in the mid to late game stage, can slow down the Brood push. The Sanking is there, and we'll see how they want to lane this. They try and match up Sanking against the Brood, and we'll see where they want to go with these second stage of bans as well.
Well, you mentioned Rubik, and I gotta say, both teams have a lot of spells worth stealing. All of Tinker's spells pretty great to have. Shadow Demon's nice as well, and especially DK's lineup. Split Earth, Chaos Bolt. We saw Burrow Strike, just amazing initiation there on the Rubik. And DK is a team that will find farm for him. We saw that last game. Even though they had hard supports, the Shadow Shaman as well is a hero they could look towards. Would give them some crazy lockdown, as well as some pushing power to work with too. But they found the room for their supports to farm, and I feel like that was the tipping point ultimately in the game. I talked about Prophet's power, but really thinking back on it, that Shadow Shaman had a Blink Dagger BKB. Every fight began with Shadow Shaman blinking and dropping the wards, using the Hex, and then BKB shackling someone, even if it was a little bit delayed at times. And that made the difference for them. So if they want to have a support that scales, that's a great option. Lion could be an option as well. If they get a Lion, I mean, I don't think you can have more disables than what they would have to work with, as well as the burst damage.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that one. And I mean, maybe because they've already got so many disables as it is. I mean, they're up against heroes. I mean, Tinker as well as Bird, you love to shut them down. But if they had too much focus firing one hero with their disables, Shadow Demon just uses that defensive disruption and can just throw DK off. So maybe they want some more sort of carry potential. I mean, even Dragon Knight can still fit in there. I mean, sure, they've got the Chaos Knight as well, but that's a hero that super can play. They can put Burning on a hero like Dragon Knight, a carry or a semi-carry. Brewmaster as well. I mean, they've had absolutely terrible win rates with their 0 and 4, but I feel like this is a draft where Brewmaster fits a lot better. They've got the disables, they've got a really strong mid game with all that burst damage, all that nukes coming from the Sand King. The AoE is there, that Brewmaster could maybe work a bit better than we've seen in the past, where they haven't really had much going in terms of their strategy. This seems to be a better fit for a Brewmaster. But there's plenty of options for both these teams. I mean, they could even go for that hard-carrying Morphling if they wanted over on DK. As we'll see what mousesports want to get first. Here comes their fourth pick. They've got the Tinker likely to be in that safe lane or the mid lane, depending on where the Shadow Demon is. Broodmother, one of their farmers. They need to get one more farmer, some kind of carry or semi-carry, or a solo hero. Maybe the Kunkka does still come to mind, but I don't know if that's what is going to be their first choice here.
It gives you a very strong lane. Broodmother, I mean, maybe Tinker can handle that. I guess you could throw the Broodmother in the off lane, you could protect the Tinker down bottom. Maybe something like an Earthshaker would be a good combo. No, it's the Rubik, and, well, I touched on it earlier. So many good spells to steal. But at the same time, we saw it before, Rubik is very squishy. Even if he gets a point in null field, his HP growth is very small. Normally you go for Arcane Boots because you need the mana, and DK have a lot of burst damage, so it's a great hero, but it's also one that DK could punish severely if they get the openings. For DK, it's still open how they're going to lane this and who's going to be playing what role. Sand King and Leshrac, I'm guessing one of these will get some farm. We saw even the hard supports got decent farm last game. They could run an offensive dual lane or even a tri-lane. But ideally, you probably want to match the Sand King up against that Broodmother. I'm very curious for DK. Where do they go? I mean, Queen of Pain's another option. They need at least one solo hero, that's for damn sure. Enigma's also in the pool if you want a jungler to boot, and I mean, it gives you some push, it gives you a little bit of additional initiation, as well as follow-up team fight. It's dangerous versus Rubik. And same for Mouse as well, they could go for that too, so for both teams, I feel like the Enigma, possibly the Queen of Pain are directions they might look towards.
Yeah, I like both the Winrun and Invoker being banned out. It does limit what DK can get, but they're going to go for a hero we haven't seen much of. Puck is picked up, and that's likely to be a solo hero. It's sort of considered as a side lane suicide solo, but I feel he could even go to that mid lane here. Puck does want to get that fast level 6 and does need to get the levels in. If he goes to the bottom lane, the problem is often that he gets completely shut down. He's kept level 1 for too long and doesn't really have the impact he needs. So he could always go to that middle lane if they want to go for a strong sort of dual lanes in the side lanes or run a tri-lane and then have some kind of side lane, sort of like even the Sand King going towards the bottom lane. They do have their options here. I feel like the last hero doesn't have to be a hard carry for DK. They have got the Chaos Knight Leshrac providing them some carry potential. And I mean, with mousesports not having a true hard carry, they've got the Tinker and Brood. Maybe DK just want to get something a bit more versatile. But here's something mousesports used last night, and it didn't work out for them, but maybe it's going to work out for them this game. Sing Sing likely to be on the lifestealer. At least it was him last night. But they used this last night. They've got a Rubik to combo with it, and we'll see if it works from here. It does somewhat counter the Chaos Knight, who is a very tanky hero. Lifestealer does lifesteal more and do additional damage to tanky units like him.
I think the Lifestealer has more potential than it did last time. Last time when we saw the Lifestealer pick, they didn't have the split push potential. I forget the heroes, but it wasn't as much as a Tinker and a Broodmother. So I like the Lifestealer better in this situation. If you can spread the map, which split push gives you that spread out map, you're less likely to have a big 5v5 engagement, and that's where I feel Lifestealer really struggles. Because he's a single target melee hero with no mobility skills. He's got a slow, yes, he's got infest, it could be a nice escape mechanism, but it doesn't let you jump around the fight like an anti-mage's blink, a Morphling's waveform. So if they get those smaller scale engagements, he could be very strong. Well, we know what Bernie's playing now. It will be that Morphling. So it's going to be more of a ganker style CK. How are they going to lane this? We could maybe see 2 dual lanes and then a solo Puck. We could possibly see a solo Shrek maybe, and a solo Puck, and then a tri-lane. No, that wouldn't work. What do you think we're going to see from DK as far as the lanes go?
I mean, the 2 supports I feel have to be the Sand King and the Leshrac. We'll see Super probably playing the Chaos Knight. I think we're looking at either dual lanes or the solo mid Morphling that we've seen a bit of. Go for that early Wraithbang, get pulled some regen, and he just really can beat most heroes in a 1v1 matchup in mid because he can morph to agility if he's up against a hero who won't harass him too much. And he's got the waveform. He can get that bottle up and just spam the waveform as much as possible. And then come level 7, he doesn't have to sit back and farm. He can actually go and gank because he's going to be out-leveling all those support heroes and can find some easy kills. So I feel like a solo mid Morphling is definitely an option for DK here.
Yeah, speaking of DK, let's introduce them formally. Burning going to be handling that Morphling, and like you predicted, he's pulled the regen. Only a single south, and then there go the tangos. So great start for Burning. ROTK going to be playing the Chaos Knight. Long DD on that Sand King is a support Sand King as he purchased the Courier Super. Nothing bought just yet. Zippo buys up the wards. Again, another support. So we're going to see something I feel is very boom or bust. It's the support Leshrac and the support Sand King. 2 heroes who need levels as well as farm. If they get a good start, they'll be absolutely fine. We saw last game, DK generally knows how to get their supports farm. But these heroes that are not playing support definitely need some backup. I mean, Puck not the strongest laner. Chaos Knight, I guess they don't need the most backup. But that's something to keep an eye on. Will these supports find the farm? Will they find the levels? And I'll let you go ahead and introduce mousesports on the radio.
Yep. Over on the Radiant. mousesports bottom lane, we have got 2, or Bulba playing the Tinker at the bottom lane. We've got Shadow Demon being played by Tsar. We've got Lifestealer in the hands of Black, in fact, and he's gearing up to go into that jungle, in fact. Sing Sing playing the solo middle Rubik. And finally, at top lane is going to be Bamboo playing that Broodmother. Going to be looking to be up against a tri-lane of sorts by the looks of things. And as far as lanes go for mousesports, they've got Bulba at bottom lane on the Tinker. He's likely to go for a heavy march the machines build, maybe 1 point in lasers sometimes, but it's mostly just missiles and march. We'll see Shadow Demon supporting him. Black in the jungle is something you don't see all too often, looking to take advantage of sort of maximizing their XP, maximizing their gold game by having a hero in the jungle. The thing they trade off for, though, is the lane control. They're more likely to lose more lanes and get out-leveled in the lanes themselves, but we'll see how that pays off for them. The mid lane is going to be interesting. That's where Burning is. He's got the Wraith Band and pulled regen, but this is not an easy matchup for him up against a Rubik.
He's probably not going to die, but he could have a tough time farming. Still, like you said, if you play the solo mid Morphling, you can set up some ganks for your team and then go look to farm. You also want to keep in mind that top lane, that tri-lane, and we're already seeing it. DK just back to their old tricks. I mean, teams that are scouting this, maybe even going to start looking to ward off some of these camps a little more aggressively. mousesports have opted not to do so. Long DD, as well as Zippo, just roaming around the jungle, looking to set up some pulls. And already the pull to the small camp. Zippo going for the double pull as well. Sing Sing a little bit of harassment traded with Burning. Okay, so in terms of the lanes, what do we have down bottom? Super up against Bulba. Pretty bad lane for Puck, especially with Shadow Demon providing the harassment here. Bulba's going to get a lot of farm. In the middle lane, I think Burning's okay if this is 1v1. Lifestealer getting some farm in the jungle, and a free farm Chaos Knight up top. Who are you favoring, or do you think we have some pretty even trades so far?
Well, I favor DK because I'm not a big fan of this jungle Lifestealer. I don't think he's going to have a big impact on the game. He doesn't farm as fast as in lane. I feel Lifestealer only really is a viable pick when he's getting a complete utter free farm lane or he's dominating in a tri-lane versus a tri-lane situation. I don't think he's going to come out of this jungle and just start dominating it up. I mean, he may prove me wrong. The problem for DK as far as lanes go, Burning will not match up too well against a Rubik at mid. Puck will struggle a bit at bottom, but I think just come mid game, they can just get together and basically build around this CK. CK, who is looking for a kill on Bamboo at top. They put down a Sanctuary. Are they going to get stunned? Reality Rift. This is dead Bamboo. He's going to get caught out. The Split Earth going to make sure of it. And CK even getting the kill. Big early pickup for DK. It's actually ROTK on the CK. Unlike, as I said, Super might be on it. Super playing that bottom lane Puck. But so far, looking good for DK with their lanes.
Well, Puck is being shut down very hard. Only level 1. Picks up the Invis Rune, 72 experience. I want to say that's 1 or 2 creeps. Czar with the lane ward can continue to provide the harassment. Although Bambo dies, I think he'll have a better time overall as far as the 2 off lanes go. And I guess, as you point out, Lifestealer not getting a whole lot. But to me, the real difference right now, DK is just doing such a great job double pulling, take advantage of the dire advantage in the jungle, pulling the small camp, then pulling it again to the large camp over here. Well, actually, they just stacked it. I don't think they actually pulled that one. And we're about to see another double pull. So this is what we saw in the other game that DK won. Just so many early aggressive pulls, getting the level and farm advantage. Even if their offlane is doing worse, they make up for it elsewhere.
Yeah, and so far, Black has managed to get some decent farm. We'll see what build he wants to go if he gets just the early treads, or often you'll see that rush Midas and really just sit there farming for as long as possible, looking to really build towards the late game. And the big problem is they're going to be that. I mean, it's not only Black who I feel is going to be ineffective, but it's also Bamboo up against a tri lane. When you have a hero like Brood can completely shut down the offlane, you need to be making up for it with heroes who can then help Brood catch up. Black can't really apply pressure and create space for a hero like Bamboo to catch up because he's just going to be looking to farm himself. So I feel like there's too many heroes looking to farm on this mousesports lineup, and there's not going to be any space for them to do so.
Yeah, especially when we don't have a support Rubik. We do, I mean, and again, it's not that we dislike this Rubik that gets farm and levels. I prefer it to the support, although it was effective previously for Mouse. Yeah. But when he's a farmer, it just means a little bit less heroes that are going to be providing that aggression early on. Bamboe jukes into the trees, RTK spots him out. Bamboe immediately TP out. Oh, he didn't actually see him. I thought he just had vision. TP's just back to the tower. Really nice heads-up play by Bamboo. Most players would just panic, double-click the TP, or double-tap the hockey, I mean, and TP back to base. Bamboo doesn't. Still, he's getting zoned out pretty hard. Lane pushing down bottom, so Super is getting a bit of farm. Now, Bulba is sort of the X-factor here for mousesports. He's going to get a lot of farm early. Disruption to start. Soul Catcher to follow. They want Super. He should be able to get away. No rockets. Yeah, the rocket is going to hit. It's a level 2 rocket as well. Bulba taking a lot of tower damage. He'll be forced back. But we've seen Bulba take over games many times before if he gets the early boots of travel, especially if the Ancients get stacked, which so far they haven't been. But it gives him that flash farm potential. Burning waveforms in. Burning can be aggressive now, but as soon as that Rubik hits level 6, we could see a turnaround for him. We saw it before. I forget which matchup it was, but early waveform of Rubik can be absolutely devastating.
It was definitely Sing Sing on that Rubik, I remember. I think it was the right. Game number 2. They ended up losing, but it was game number 2 against IG. I think, because when they had that heavy intel lineup, they didn't have any carries. But Burning just continuing to wave in that mid on Sing Sing, and that right-click damage, it hurts. He's got the Wraith Band, he's got that bottle. Sing Sing bringing out his own bottle. I think he'd done some bottle crowing there, in fact. But for the most part, this mid matchup is fairly even in terms of raw CS. 20-9 on Morphling. Rubik 21-5, so pretty much dead even for the time being. But it's going to come down to when the ganks start rolling in. I mean, Rubik can't really straight up kill Morphling unless Morphling makes a big mistake here. And I do feel that with this bottle crow happening, he's going to be having a decent time and still manage to get up some farm and even have some involvement. Puck getting level 4, and he can always come in for a gank on Rubik a bit later on.
It goes the other way too. Sing Sing level 6 now. If he's able to see a waveform, he'll be pretty much impossible to kill solo. Even if he gets adaptive, well, there you go. Level 3 waveform acquired. Top lane. Bamboe caught out. Will go down again, I believe. Yep, one more right click does the trick. Super checking that bottom rune, but he is driven back by Zar. Just not a whole lot for Super to do right now. Still, he's gotten the boots, and unlike Bamboo, he is not dying. And it goes back to the Lifestealer. He's not really the best ganker out of the jungle, especially against a hero like Puck. Disruption to start. Zar picks up an invis, and now he's going to make Super very uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, it's just although I feel like Bamboo would be the better offlane normally, it's this lack of the lack of pressure from what would be a support normally, but it's actually a Lifestealer. It's making life a bit easier for the Puck.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Puck does try to use this levels later on. I mean, being just level 4 at this point, often you would see Puck in that hard lane, still level 2, level 3. Shadow Demon coming in again, and we see if he can get the rocket or if it's some marks and machine damage off after the phase shift is gone, then it does really push Puck back. But Puck's just more worried about the levels. He doesn't matter too much about getting any farm up, and at the moment, farm and levels is not going Bamboo's way. He is, as you said, zoned out. He's actually sitting near that neutral camp at the moment, away from the Sentry Ward, but I think DK is just going to go for this T1 tower soon. They've got the Edict up level 2.
It's the weakness of Brood. She's a great pusher. She's also weak against pushes. That early Edict is going to melt down the tower. Wave in onto Sing Sing. Rotation in from behind. Wave away. Super is here. Warp to start. Silence to follow. No, they're not going to dive, but the TP in from Zar is forced. Actually disrupts Sing Sing. Not sure if that was misclick or lag, but definitely not necessary there. Still, Sing Sing will survive.
He may have shift queued it. He may have shift queued it, and you can't cancel the shift queue while you're TPing without canceling the TP itself. Right. So
either way, he does help bail out Sing Sing. I think that was a necessary TP. But with that TP, it's going to allow Super to be more aggressive. What is the response to this push top? The glyph was forced, but I feel like round 2 and 3, maybe even round 2 alone, will be enough to bring it down.
Yeah, and we'll see whether or not bulba starts to come and get more involved soon. He's getting close to that boots of travel. He's up to 1,400 gold now. And as soon as he gets those, he'll probably getting that point in rearm, and that'll be around the level 7, level 8 mark, and that's when he can really hurt and maybe stop this push at top. 4-second stun. Defensive disruption, though, and that could almost set up a stun for Sanking or Leshrac, but they were a bit too far away. ROTK, though, doesn't need any backup. He does it on his own. The backup's going to come, and that's going to help set the kill on Shadow Demon. ROTK, though, low on mana. They decide not to go for it. It was a bit risky. Hero like Tinker or Rubik TPing in could have caused them problems. Burning, though, gets a top rune. He's juking out with Sing Sing. Sing Sing's low on mana here, though. He's got a waveform. He's got one spell. And here comes Puck as well, waving to the low ground. I think he actually managed to dodge the Puck damage there with that waveform. But Sing Sing gets off. He's going to have to go back to base now, heal up, and then look for a lane to TP2 and try find some way to help out some of these carries farm. How is Black doing in the jungle? He's got his Midas, he's got level 7, but I honestly feel DK just don't care if he's farming, because, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I just don't think the Brood, Lifestealer are two heroes that can really put on much pressure onto DK, who just have such a strong mid-game force to be reckoned with, and it's going to be hard for mousesports.
I mean, even a farmed Lifestealer, how many kills is he really going to get? Puck can always use the Illusory Orb, can phase shift, dodge a lot of damage, Sand King can burrow strike away, Chaos Knight is fast as hell, Phantasm removes that open wounds, a Morphling can wave away, also, you know, morph to strength. I feel like Black is going to have a real hard time locking on, and there's just not a whole lot of reliable setups. Now, if Sing Sing's able to steal Burrow Strike, that can make a big difference. So far, it's just waveform for him. But, I mean, even with a lot of items, will Black actually be able to stay locked under here to do the damage? I mean, you can have all the items in the world. You can have maximum damage. You can have 4 Divine Rapiers. But if you can't get next to here to right-click them, it's really not going to matter.
Yeah, no, top lane, this is not looking good for mousesports. I mean, that's the other thing. How do they defend towers? I mean, with Black just farming in the jungle, Tinker's going to have to be the answer. Tinker now level 7. He's got maxed out March machines. He doesn't have any points in rearm yet, though. But as soon as he gets level 8, hey, go for that.
Disruption, Soul Catcher, super dropping low. There's no purge just yet. A long-range rocket, phase shift. Perfect timing by Super. That's only a level 1 phase shift. Only lasts for 0.75 seconds. Gets the timing off. Sing Sing with a huge solo kill on Burning. Sorry I missed that one, guys, but man, that's not something you expect to see. Great individual play by Sing Sing, and that's something they really need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the top and bottom, the bottom lane, I mean, okay, it's going fine. They've got a lot of farm on Tinker, but now it's all up to the Tinker to just go around, move around the map, and set up kills, defend towers, because he's got too many farm-dependent heroes on his team between the Lifesteal and the Brood who need catching up, so he can't afford just to keep on continuing to farm here. He's got to head top, I feel, and start spamming those rockets as well as March the Machines to hold off this push. Bamboo can't do anything on his own. It's almost as if Bamboo needs to be the one going towards his bottom lane and versing the Puck where he can at least get farm and levels.
Yeah, Brood actually can lane quite well against Puck, although she's got Arcane Boots now, and that's going to make life a lot more difficult. Early on, she really dominates that matchup. Bamboo is in such a bad position. Look at his items right now. Rain of Regen, Soul Ring Recipe. 11 minutes in, doesn't have level 6 even. Bottom tower gets denied by Super. Uh-oh, that's a bit of a blunder for mousesports here. I was going to say EG. But, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Bulba, with these early boots of travel, I'm not sure you can just sit back and farm like we often see Tinkers do. I think he's got to get active, and the team sort of needs to take turns farming. Sing Sing's gotten a lot of farm early. Lifesteal as well. Now maybe it's time to get Shadow Demon up to that level 7 or 8. Get the Broodmother some space in particular. Instead of just having these heroes that already have farm look to get bigger. They need everyone to be a contributor, or else... I mean, a Broodmother doesn't have farm, doesn't have items, is quite a useless hero in the mid to late game.
No, absolutely. And we can see Bamboo now. He hasn't even managed to finish off that Soul Ring, and to no fault of his own. They've just been so proactive with warding the lane. Sentries as well. There we go. Bulba decides TP top, and that's where they're going to be looking to make something happen. Rubik, Sing Sing leading in. They've got their 2 core heroes, the Rubik and Tinker. 4-second stun, though. Sing Sing may just get taken out before anything even happens. He goes down, and that could be trouble for Bulba as well. CK, ROTK, looks like he should get Bulba as well. Reality Rip. There's a stun as well. 3 seconds. Zippo going to chain stun him with the splitter, and that was the exact opposite of what mousesports wanted to happen with the rotation from those 2 heroes.
Oh, nice job there by Zara. Disruption into the deny, but Bernie wants to make him pay for it. No defensive disruption available. Burning doesn't have the mana for the waveform, has the magic wand charges though. Disruption cooling down in 10 seconds. Burning should be able to get this kill. Uses the wand. The Purge attempted. A big juke by Czar and the Purge to follow. Waves. Misses the wave. Czar's still alive and Czar will escape. Great play by him. Actually, I was going to say it was a bit of a blunder to try and stop that rune, but Juke's burning like a boss and turns it around. Still, this CK is a real problem right now. And with these early levels, these early items, drums and phase already up. The very traditional Chinese build. They don't normally play Chaos Knight as a hard carry. They just get those cheap, cost-effective ganking items up, and then they go kill everyone with that spammable 4-second stun. Well, if you get the 4 seconds. And it's a nightmare for pretty much everyone on the Radiant squad.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see Sing Sing picking up some, basically mobility. Both Sing Sing and the Tinker need more items. That's the problem, but they don't have a draft which allows them to keep on farming. I mean, with Brood as well as Lifesteal just farming it up, this is not looking good for them. Sing Sing needs a 4-star, so does Bulba. Sing Sing maybe even going for yours. He gets initiated on it mid. The Dream Coil, he waves himself, he orbs himself out, I should say.
Yeah, great play by him.
That's going to be one way to escape that gank there, but he still does need to pick up that 4-star for Yule Scepter, something to give him that survivability he needs. And Tinker's in the same boat, needs that 4-star. And I mean, Black, I mean, he just seems happy to keep farming away in this jungle with Treads, Midas, Armlet probably going to come next. As soon as we see the Armlet, I think that's when he'll leave the jungle and try look to help out his team a little bit, but for the most part, he's happy just to keep on farming now.
Look at mousesports. We've been talking about not very good farm for a couple of years. Broodmother, 126 gold per minute. Now, I'm not too surprised the Shadow Demon only is 90. We see that a lot from the hard support. But then compared to the Puck, 169 in the offlane, it's not half bad. He's got the Arcane Boots up. In comes the Smoke Dank from DK, looking for some kills middle lane. Bulba farming the Ancients. They might be able to stop this one. Bulba running away. What a long-range Reality Rift. Pulls him in. Disruption. Long DD almost dies to the March. And this is going to be a huge overextension for DK. One hero down. Long DD in trouble. They don't have anyone to throw up in the air with telekinesis. Can't stun him out of this, but Bulba could drop the March again. Burrow strike out from Long DD. Rockets flying through, and he's gonna die. Bulba turns it around. It's so often underestimated, much like we've seen Templar Assassin Gods. That March of the Machines does some crazy DPS.
Yeah, it really does produce some of those moments where you're just thinking, how did that player turn that around? But Bulba coming in when he's needed here, and that's definitely something that needs to happen, especially with Burning farming decently well. He's not getting free farm by any means, but he's probably just going to go for that BKB into Skadi build. We've seen a lot of these Chinese players on Morphling do, and that's something that this game, it's maybe not as effective. BKB isn't as essential against some of these heroes. So whether or not he does go for that, we'll have to wait and see, but he's going to scout out the Broodmother in the jungle here, trying to get some farm on neutrals, and he's not even going to allow that. He's going to steal whatever he can from the Brood.
Bamboe, that's not your jungle, says Burning as he takes a couple of creeps. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the BKB at all. I guess the one thing I'll say is when that Morphling goes for that build in the Chinese scene, normally it's so you can play aggressive, go for kills, maybe even be an initiator. He doesn't need to do that this game. He's got so many other initiators. Puck, ROTK. Wow, look at Super dropping really low. Disruption to start. And oh, he's held up in place by the telekinesis. Look at the range on Mouse. They can pick heroes off from a distance. They do so there. Deny the tower as well. Still, it's another tower down. 2 of the tier 1s knocked down. Meanwhile, only 1 for mousesports. And, well, if they can get that bottom tower, which might be DK's next objective, they're going to have a big edge in terms of map control. And it's going to make it a lot more dangerous for Bulba to do what he likes to do and take her that split pushing, that aggressive solo farming, and the same for the Broodmother. And Bamboe really cannot afford to die anymore. He's so behind.
It looks like mousesports will be able to get this tier 1 tower. No one defending at the moment. Sing Sing coming in with Bulba. Not quite at deny range yet, but there's a TP's coming. Actually, DK wanted to take this on, and the good news is there's a Radiant Ward on the high ground. They scout out the incoming Morphling, and they will see this CK fairly soon if he goes onto the low ground.
Sing Sing completed his Yules. He is farming very well, especially considering how active he's been around the map. Actually out-farming Burning's Morphling. And a lot of it is due to that early kill he got on Burning, really helping to pave the way for that. Up to level 12 already. Bulba continuing to find space to farm. If Mouse are allowed to farm like this without any pressure, they're going to jump right back into this game. I mean, it's still a pretty even game, but they're going to, they have the better late game in theory, right? Because they have 3 heroes that scale quite well. Well, it's at least it's close anyway, but Sing Sing gets a solo kill mid? Or no, he had some help, it looks like. No, I think it was a solo kill.
I mean, I agree. To some extent, mousesports have the better late game because they've got the 3 heroes who scale well. But the problem is the utility and basically the fact that DK have more survivability on their heroes. I mean, they haven't got the best actual carry potential. I mean, well, apart from the Morphling, who's probably one of the best carries in the game. But heroes like Sanking and Puck and Leshrac, they've got additional disables. They've got escape spells on Sanking and Puck, and Leshrac is just a nice chain stunner and DPS in these team fights. So I feel they're a bit more versatile.
Zar gets pulled in, 4-second stun, he'll go down. Sing Sing might be the next to fall, waves up to the high ground, dodges the split earth. He should be able to get away. It's bulba wisely canceling that TP. They're still hunting Sing Sing, and this is the power of that phase boots Yule Scepter. Just makes him so mobile. It's not just about that escape mechanism, it's not about throwing heroes up in the air, although that is a great aspect of it. It also gives you that move speed. He gets an illusion road as well. They're still chasing him. If mousesports are able to delay and stall like this, I think it is looking decent for them. But Super gets caught out. Sing Sing with another solo kill. Man, his Rubik is sharp. Might even be worth a ban in some matchups. Burrow strike in. Epicenter to follow up top. Long DD. He wants Bamboe. Not going to get him. Epicenter wasted. I think that's the first of the game that we've seen, and it doesn't pan out. And godz, I actually took a peek at the gold graph, and it's mousesports who have a big lead, and the experience lead is, frankly, it's massive.
Wow, I mean, that is, I mean, I'm not surprised, but the way this is going, the way that Black has not been, it pretty much comes down to this Negs, the lifesteal, has not been touched. He's level 14, he's just finished off his armlet, brought it out to him a minute or two ago. He's had this Midas. Midas gives a boost to his XP and farm, and basically lifesteal is the difference in the golden XP graph. That's where that 5k gold and the XP, 10k now. It's all because of this lifesteal in the jungle there, whereas DK have been running a tri lane, which is heroes sharing that three ways the XP, and 2 of the support heroes not getting much farm. So the fact that they haven't pressured the lifesteal in the jungle is the difference there, but I still feel DK are still in a good position. I feel this game is 50-50 despite the big difference, just because of the hero composition. Going into the mid game, DK have a much stronger hero composition. It will be hard for lifesteal to lock down heroes and actually secure those kills.
They do need some core items. Burrow strike in again on Bamboe, pulls him back in with the Reality Rift, just as used, 2-second stun, but that should be enough. Reality Rift was not actually used, pulls him back in again. Bamboe with the wands, will he actually survive? Burrow strike, I'm just out of range. Long DD misses it, one more pull, Bamboe, the dust wears off, and now RTK may have overextended himself on the back foot. The spider leads to start, the chase continuing. Phantasm cooling down, Purge to follow. Oh, RTK, a big fail there. He's going to get picked off. Long DD should be able to escape, but while this is happening, Black gets to farm. And Sing Sing roaming all over the place, just being so active around the map. Oh, so anyway, I wanted to mention, I like DK's chances in terms of team fight especially, but they need core items. We saw there, Sanking really needs a Blink Dagger, the same for the Puck. They need that reliable initiation, because right now, Mouse are doing a good job of just running away. I mean, we saw Sing Sing with the Yule Scepter, that move speed, plus the phase boots and the illusory orb, the waveform, whatever escape spell he's got. And then, of course, the Broodmother's move speed. So yeah, to me, those 2 Blink Daggers, that's what DK has to be shooting for now.
And look at this lifesteal. His score is just a pleasure for any hard carry player. 0-0-0 with 160 units killed, creeps as well as neutrals, and that is just at 20 minutes into the game. Midas armlet treads, 3k gold on top of that. He is ridiculously farmed.
Oh, top tower getting pressured. Burrow strike in to start. Long DD taking some damage for the March. Dream Coil on 2. Will it be enough? Actually ports into the orb. Silence on 2 as well. Long DD has the epicenter. Waiting for that Burrow strike perhaps. Oh, he's just going to melt. Not going to get it off. Meanwhile, Burning doing chase, but Sing Sing seems to have a good rune every fight this game. Pulls in the Taker, going for a defensive disruption. Burning gets that kill. Ghost Scepter picked up. He is going for an Ethereal Blade. Zar taking some damage. Soul Catcher not really going to help him when he's just running away here. Waveform coming off cooldown. Shouldn't matter. Reality Rift pulls him back in. We're seeing the team fight of DK right now. Although they've lost 2, they are the ones who command here. Buyback from Bulba. He's actually going to turn this one around. RTK gets picked off. Vernon's got to run. He's got 15 charges. I'm not sure he actually can get away. Waveform's back. Will it be enough? Sing Sing, no waveform on him. He did steal Lightning Storm. 4 staff instead. That one was from Bulba, I believe. He might get the kill. Throws him up in the air. Where's the replicate right now? He does port to it. The rocket follows him. Wow, he lives with 20 health, but will he actually get away? Stops to try to deny the neutrals. No, Bamboe gets the kill. A great buyback for Bulba. And now the pressure on bottom lane. Black is still not team fighting here. It's that March of Machines. It's making all the difference.
It really is. I mean, bulba, making use of that free farm at bottom lane, and the pressure is coming all over. Not during that entire fight. I mean, Black was just farming and pressuring this bottom lane. He's now up to 5k gold. And I mean, I mentioned that lifesteal in the jungle, maybe not that effective, but when you get completely as left alone as he is at the moment, not only did he start in the jungle, but he's now started pressuring lanes, getting towers by himself. He gets a massive amount of farm and gold. He's picked up a full maelstrom. He's going to have a Mjolnir
in about these pickups for
minute or two time.
Blink Dagger on Sing Sing, Orchid on Brood. It's a pretty late Orchid, to be honest, on Bamboe, but he's level 13 after that fight. He's right back in this one, gods. Mousesports are making a pretty awkward lineup work out beautifully, and they're doing it against DK, a team that usually punishes this sort of style. I'm very impressed so far. Still, DK do have that team fight. They just got to get better initiations. They really need to pick off Bulba before he drops 3 or 4 marks. The machine spams those rockets. Where's that initiation going to come from? I think a BKB is mandatory on somebody, whether it's RTK or Burning, and then you need those Blink Daggers, which they're not getting just yet. Uh-oh, long DD. Invis is their detection. Nothing for now, but March is going to start harassing him. And he's going to start dropping. He can't sit here forever. Burrow Strike away. Trying to run Czar on the chase. No, that's a dangerous total run up on. They are going to back off immediately.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's Sankey who needs to get that blinker. He's level 11, so he's got the level 2 ulti, and that's a key level to be for him. But he wants to have that blink dagger up, which he's still about 600-700 gold away from. I'm probably just going to be looking to farm up, find a lane or some neutrals to just get while we wait, or at least look for a pickoff. I mean, Shadow Demon at the moment fairly low top. Brood as well may get caught out here. This is not where Bamboo wants to be. He's going to feed a free kill, and he's died a lot at this top lane. A few couldn't have been avoided, but that was one which probably shouldn't have happened.
I mean, when you're this far behind, how do you feel about going Orchid? Because personally, I feel like especially against DK's lineup, the BKB is better just to at least punish DK for focusing him, even if you're going to go down. It seems like he's just getting picked off constantly. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, for me it's hard. With all this tower gold and with the, basically, with Mousesports just constantly farming and just it's come down to some individual play. I mean, Sing Sing getting a few individual kills, just creating the space they need, not by strategic choices, but just by some great play. I mean, game number 1, it was Sexybamboe on the Templar Assassin. In this game, you see Sing Sing, some solo kills with the Rubik, Black just farming himself for Storm in jungle, and Tinker, Bulba, really having a great game so far. We'll see if he can keep it up. But things right now, I have to say, Mousesports are definitely pulling away, with Negs just getting ridiculously farmed.
Guys, you gotta remember, he still hasn't participated in a single fight. Completed Mjolnir, 1,400 gold, and Black might look to take some of Bulba's farm. No, he's not going to. At some point, Black's gonna show up, and DK don't really have a great answer for him while he's in Rage. So if he can actually get a couple of right clicks off, and he only needs a couple, maybe 3 or 4, that'll chop up the Leshrac. It'll even deal well with the DK thanks to that passive feast, giving him that bonus damage, percentage-based as well. And even, the Puck, 1,000 HP. We're looking at a Sand King who still doesn't have a blink. He's got 1,000. I liked on paper how DK could deal with this Lifestealer, but the reality of the situation, not looking so good right now. Still, the blinks, that's the key thing. They have to get these blinks up, and then they have to find some openings. At this rate, the way things are going, I don't think they can farm their way to victory anymore, even with Burning being on that Morph lane. I think they're just too far behind. They need to get some kills, maybe a couple towers, and try and swing things back around that way.
Yeah, I fully agree. I mean, they're about to pick up the Ethereal Blade on the Morphling, so he's going to have that shotgun up. I will see Punk actually enough gold for a Blink Dagger. So there's one of the Blink Daggers you talked about. He's got 2.2k gold. I believe that will be his Blink he just picked up. Yes, it is. So Blink on him. Sand King, where is he at? 50 gold. So 2 Blinks coming in, but Rubik finds the Sand King in the jungle. Forget Sand King's Blink. Rubik gets a solo kill, and Leshrac as well at top, getting found by Shadow Demon with the Purge and some right-click damage from Bamboo. 2 quick pickups, and that was pickups that DK can't afford to let happen.
Well, and when they lose those heroes, the pressure commences up top. I mean, Sing Sing, I think that Sand King was about 500 health when I checked him. Sing Sing just melted him down. The Lightning Storm, as well as the Telekinesis, the Fade Bolt. Too much burst damage for Sand King to deal with. And that's just Sing Sing soloing him. That's a really bad situation where Rubik can solo kill heroes deep in your jungle. Czar doing some dewarding. And look at the pressure for Mouse. They're just zoning out DK so effectively. with this map control, with the split push, this is where, I mean, this is similar to what we saw at this point in the game. What was it? ehome facing off against Complexity, I want to say, in that game number 3, where it was just a split push to victory. And I mean, Mouse didn't start with the same lineup, but they can execute similarly now. Broodmother pressure one lane, Tinker another, farming the enemy jungle, farming your own lanes, just spreading the enemy out. And everybody's just a bit hard to kill now. There's no easy kills on this Mouse team, aside from maybe the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, and that's gonna cause them some problems. They've still got the team fight, but basically mousesports can just avoid those team fights. They can just go for the split push, go for the split farm, get the map control up, which they're getting with all these sentry wards. And Tinker, Side of Vice, they're just getting such big items
top lane,
all over the
DD,
map.
might be a solo kill. No, the turnaround, the shotgun from Burning, overextension again from Bamboe. Even when he's down, I mean, what is the score right now? 2-5-4, 76 CS in 28 minutes. Most Broodmothers will be playing this one safe, but it's not Bamboe. Or Bamboe is not going to do that no matter how far behind he is. And, you know, even though they get the kill, it still required a couple of heroes. It means some farm for Black, it means some farm for Sing Sing. Wards getting placed down, pretty aggressive wards at that. And DK are now officially restricted to their own base.
Yeah, it's the sad state of this game, as we will see. I mean, mousesports with complete and utter control. I mean, look at this vision. They've got a ward in each lane. Top lane right on that cliff, bottom lane in the lane, around mid lane, right onto that ramp up near the secret shop. They've just got such great map control. No wards for the Dire team except one near the Roshan pit and one in the top jungle, which isn't really giving much useful vision. But I mean, DK, as you say, just huddled up in their own base. They're going to go for a smoking. That's about their only option remaining at this point. But it's a little bit obvious. I mean, no one's pushing out mid. There's no one there. We may see Morphling rotate to it, but these 4 heroes need to be careful that they don't find a 4v5 fight. They need to go for a single hero pick off and then try to get a tower out of it.
Oh, God, they want Sing Sing. This is a very difficult target to track down. Blink Dagger, Yule Scepter, and, well, he's just going to blink down to the low ground. Big Smoke Yank. They might get a Burrow Strike. Misses. Reality Rift. Chaos Bolt to follow. Oh, the 4-second stun. Even with that haste, Sing Sing will drop. It's a big investment, but they kill off the Rubik. Oh, they're not done just yet. They want Bamboe. Zar caught up by the puck there, and it looks like, oh, even an Epicenter thrown in as well. Bulba gonna hex up Long DD. Martian Machines to follow. RTK try to run away. Bulba still alive, very low, however. Zippo gets zapped from long range. Bulba with the big double. Fitting in beautifully with Mouse. Even with the 2 stand-ins, they seem to be just a more coordinated team at this point in the game, and the item advantage might be too big. I'm not sure if DK just could... I'm not sure what they could do at this point. That was a smoke gank. They got the jump, and Mouse had the easy turnaround.
Yeah, I'd say this is some of the best team that we've seen from Mouse all tournament long, and that is the irony. They are playing with 2 stand-ins. Come With Me and 1437 can't be playing. 1437 who's been busy, and Come With Me who isn't here either. So mousesports are going to take a tier 3 tower and potentially a rack. Still over 10 seconds left on 3 of those heroes. This is a melee barracks, and up against these heroes, I mean, this is not going to be something that can really be turned around by DK. Morphling, I just don't think has it in him.
He's only got an Ethereal Blade. It's a nice pickup. It's not enough. I mean, you can't just kill one mousesports hero. And that's what Ethereal Blade's great for, picking off that crucial hero. You have to kill at least 2 or 3. You can't ignore Sing Sing. You certainly can't ignore the Lifestealer. And I mean, talk about Bulba. He might be the beastliest of them all. Blink Dagger, Force Staff, Scythe of Vice. Lifestealer gets a DD, and that means a Roshan in about 4 seconds flat. Completed Assault Cuirass, Mealder, Armlet, Midas on top of it all. Look at Roshan just melts up. This is going to take about 10 seconds. Almost as good as an Ursa or a Lycan. They see it. They want to initiate. Remember, no Epicenter here. More Burning going for the Jack. Waveform's in. Lifestealer's going to get it. Oh, it's looking bad now. Black dropping low. Chops Burning to bits in 4 seconds. Everybody melts. Zippo as well. 2 more right clicks. And Black, the unsung hero of this game. And the instant GG. I mean, at least Black got to use his items once, Godz. That's all we can say about that.
It wasn't close, but it was something special, something different, something really cool to watch. A new strategy from mousesports, and they just absolutely dominated this game. I mean, I called them. I'm gonna completely admit I was wrong. I thought this mousesports lineup wouldn't work. I did not like the lifesteal in the jungle, but DK just, I mean, they put the pressure on at top lane. They really shut down the Brood, but it came down to Morphling at mid. I mean, the Rubik had a much bigger impact. Morphling just looked to keep getting farm, and mousesports made much more advantage of the farm they got and just kept getting further and further ahead in terms of farm. Lifesteal and Midas just never got touched or pressured. What a game from Black. I wouldn't even pick him as an MVP. He just farmed. It comes down to the Rubik as well as the Shadow Demon and Tinker who really controlled the mid game.
Yeah, I mean, what I was really trying to say there is at least he got to use his items, but he didn't really participate much. But, I mean, I go back to Game 1, and I will say the same thing I said in Game 1. I feel like when Mouse wins, it's just better individual play. I still think we were right that DK had the better lineup and the lanes where they should have the advantage. Mouse just outplayed them. I mean, it's as simple as that to me. Rubik solo killing Amorphline, that just shouldn't happen, even if he's got waveform. Sing Sing playing out of his mind. Mousesports take game number 3, so Mouse are still in this. They're not out of it yet, gods. It's all going to come down to that DK versus IG matchup, the last best out of 3 for this group. Whoever wins that matchup, if IG win it, that means a 3-way tie, potentially, that's the last matchup, right?
I think there's also IG versus MUFC, or
right,
we already have that.
Yeah, no, you're right. So IG's got a... So IG's only played one match.
IG has 2 matches left.
Okay, if IG wins both, then we have a 3-way tie with 3 teams, 1 and 2, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the tiebreakers shake out. But there's a chance for maybe some playoff games there. Anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's broadcast. I'm LD from dotacommentaries.com. He is Godz. Thank you all for watching Beyond the Summits World Tour. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe we only have 1 game. And Godz, do you happen to know what that match is off the top of your head?
I do not, but actually I have the schedule right here. It looks like we've got AL versus ehome tomorrow night at A time. I think it's at 18 CEST. We'll have to wait and see, but that's tomorrow night. So we'll post the news on the Facebook for the Beyond the Summit about exactly what time that is, but I believe it's going to be at 18 Central European summertime or at midnight in Singapore time. That's AL versus ehome.
Okay, so for anyone who tuned in late, who missed some of the earlier matches, if you want to check out any of the VODs, they'll all be available, not just for today, but all the previous days as well, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/LDdota. So go check those out. You can also watch these games in the client, if you didn't already know about that, $3.99 for the tournament pass, 24 best out of 3s, featuring 15 international 2 bound teams, plus the knockout rounds as well. Lots of good action has already come your way, and more to follow tomorrow. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. We appreciate the huge turnout so much. We hope you all continue to tune in. It's been an amazing tournament, and, well, I expect it only to get better. The action's just getting started. It's going to heat up. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow at 18 CST for our next Beyond the Summit World Tour matchup. Talk to you all then.